So we don't live in a Christian culture anymore. In a Christian culture, or at least one where the institutions were Christian, and maybe not like explicitly so, but just culturally, just like obviously so, then the NFL would put out a statement saying, we don't agree with the lifestyle choices of Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, and I guess his wife, it says here, are expecting their first child together. It's wonderful news. It's wonderful. Tyreek has had 4 children this year. Give your brain a second to make sense of that one. He has had 4 children this year. Already has 10. Now he's got another on the way. I don't even know how many women involved in this situation. Now, in a Christian culture, the NFL would say, hey, listen, maybe they would say nothing, right? Or no, I don't know. If we had a truly Christian culture, they would say, hey, listen, we don't approve of that. We would like to distance ourselves from those lifestyle choices. But no, instead, the NFL puts out a statement against the guy who says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. That's where the NFL says, whoa. We need to put out a statement against that guy. I saw this commencement address. It was last week. Wasn't planning on commenting about it. But when the NFL made their statement saying we'd like to distance ourselves from him, that's when I'm like, all right, I'll bite. So it was the kicker of the Chiefs, Harrison Butker. Is that right? Butker. He spoke at Benedictine College. I've never heard of the place, but this is good. This is the kind of place that in the past maybe we never would have heard of, but now we need to consider as a place to perhaps send your children, because it may still be a real school. There's not many of them left, but this may be one of them. It's in Kansas. It's where Amelia Earhart was born. On Wednesday, NFL Senior Vice President and Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer clarified that Butker's values are not the NFL's. All right, so Tyreek Hill, 5 kids? Like 5 kids this year? 5 different women, I presume? No problem, let alone everything else that happens with NFL players. But this guy, whoa, not our values. The NFL is steadfast in our commitment to inclusion, which only makes our league stronger. I'm not sure what Harrison said that was exclusive, but alas, here's what he said. I always hate when I read an article, and I already knew what he said, but I'm reading an article, and I read the article, and the article doesn't say what he said, or doesn't quote him, or doesn't play it, doesn't give you even the opportunity, doesn't give a link to the actual speech itself, or a transcript of the speech so people can come to their own conclusions. Of course. So just to be clear, a Catholic gave a commencement address at a Catholic college and is being criticized for saying Catholic things. While COVID, and I bring up this COVID part because we talked the whole first hour about COVID, while COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it's not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues, things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as the growing support for degenerate cultural values and media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. He's been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I'm sure to many people it appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice. He's not alone. From the man behind the COVID lockdowns to the people pushing dangerous gender ideologies onto the youth of America, they all have a glaring thing in common. They're Catholic. It's talking about Fauci and the other guy. Who's the other one? I forget, but Fauci. This is an important reminder that being Catholic alone doesn't cut it. These are the sorts of things we're told in polite society to not bring up, the difficult and unpleasant things. But if we're going to be men and women for this time in history, we need to stop pretending that the Church of Nice is a winning proposition. We must always speak and act in charity, but never mistake charity for cowardice. is what the NFL says, hold on. We want nothing to do with this. All right, this is where I think this is the part that got him in trouble. I would imagine this is the controversial thing. But nothing that the NFL wouldn't need to get involved with this part. But NFL aside, this is the controversial part.
For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker. She's a primary educator to our children. She's the one who ensures I never let football or my business become a distraction from that of a husband and father. She's the person that knows me best at my core, and it is through our marriage that, Lord willing, we will both attain salvation.
Yeah, so that's no good. Can't do any of that. Someone wrote in the Twitter, and actually the reason this got promoted is because one of his teammates on the Chiefs wrote something nice. He said, I love you, brother. I love you, my brother. But then this guy liked a tweet from some random guy. Hating a man who's choking on tears while talking about how special his wife is to him is pretty wild. Okay, so that's just to juxtapose, like which way Western man. Like this is a perfect example. Which way? We go the Tyreek Hill way. 5 kids in a year. Congratulations to him. Or we can go the Harrison Butker way. But the NFL made their choice. But forget about the NFL. It's just which is better? Which is better? Oh, which is more holy? We can talk about that, but no, we don't want to judge. Okay, fine. Just which is better? Which cultures? So Naomi Wolf, she just wrote this on Twitter yesterday. The timing was too good not to share. She said, I went to a nail salon today. So I read a Cosmo, which I rarely do. It's aimed at 20-something women. One feature was about how hot it is to basically have sex with your best friend's husband. Second feature was about how great it is to cut off ties with your family, and that 26% of young people have done so. Those were the two feature stories. We're being infiltrated by people, have been infiltrated by people who want us to collapse culturally or just go to hell, or both. Which is, by the way, if you're looking for a women's magazine, Evie magazine is the conservative response to it. EVIE magazine. Anyway, he went on and talked about men as well. He said to men, fight against the cultural emasculation of men, do hard things, never settle for what's easy. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better. I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur, something I never thought I'd be when I was receiving my industrial engineering degree. So listen, here's the thing. A couple years ago, that would have been a very normal speech. There would have been nothing weird about it or noteworthy about it at all. But now it's very problematic. Women, are you offended? You're speaking to the young ladies. So are you offended? on behalf of those ladies? Or heaven forbid, maybe, just maybe, he's right.